Now, from the home of the 2026 Winter Olympics and streaming live on KWQC+, this is a KWQC TV6 News Update.
Is on the team and had 2 assists in that first game. KWQC's William Engels introduces us to Tessa Janicki, whose small-town roots and determination led her to the biggest stage in her sport.
What kind of helmet do you have on?
The jammer helmet.
We were writing about what you wanted to be one day. At the time, obviously, pro hockey player wasn't an option, so it was to go play college hockey and then go to the Olympics.
For Tessa Janicki, dreams put to paper in grade school have come true.
I'm from this small rinky-dink town, and then now I'm going to the Olympics.
Dreams that started with trips from Orangeville, Illinois to Monroe, Wisconsin to play on the co-ed hockey team her brother was part of, where she regularly was one of the youngest people on the ice.
We're not going to do 2 teams. Just play. Yeah. You better be good enough where you can play on Kate's team.
Told her, and she wanted to play with him, so we made it clear. They're only a year apart in school, so we kind of made it clear, like, you want to play with him, you're going to have to work probably harder than everybody else.
Hard work was in Tessa's blood, and her parents, Andrew and Carrie, watched her succeed at nearly everything she tried.
She just picks stuff up so fast. Softball, same way. I mean, she loved football. She won the punt, pass, and kick one year and beat all the boys, and we went to Chicago for the finals, like the national. Like, she just could do stuff.
But hockey always had Tessa's heart, both on the ice with her brother and with her dad on the bench as one of her coaches.
What he instilled in us was just like always working hard.
Hard work that took Janicki from the Midwest to a hockey academy on the East Coast.
That was extremely hard to send a 14-year-old girl halfway across the country, but I think because of her personality, any fear that she had that way, the dream was bigger than that.
Janicki's journey would continue on the East Coast on Penn State's women's team. She's lit up the scoreboard as a Nittany Lion and is already the leading scorer in program history for both men and women, and she did it before she was even a senior. Sprinkled in between her time at Penn State have been appearances on the women's national team. Even though her first trip fell short of a gold medal, she knew it was only the beginning.
We ended up taking silver, and I just remember everyone was crying, and I'm not crying, I'm just mad. But I knew, I said to myself them, this isn't going to be my last time. And
her words rang true. She racked up 2 gold medals for the Stars and Stripes between 2023 and 2025, leading to the call she's dreamed of since she was a little girl.
They just called me. Yeah, I made it.
Setting the stage for her parents to watch her take the ice with the world's best.
You just know that she's among so many great athletes in so many areas, and she's one of them. It's kind of, I think it's pretty cool.
In Northern Illinois for KWQC TV6 News, I'm William Engels.
Yeah, so neat to see that young woman achieving her dreams and competing on the biggest stage in women's hockey. Looking forward to watching her throughout the Olympic Games. Our own Chandler Brindley sat down with William to discuss more on Tessa's journey to this moment and also about how her parents plan to watch her.
A nice story there indeed, Will. Thanks for having that for us. Speaking with her and her family about this, seems like she's a very natural fit, very natural choice to be on the women's hockey team.
Right. I've met very few people, and you hear this a lot with, athletes that reach the top level that Tessa does. But it's these people who so elegantly, not to make a pun here, but skate between arrogance and confidence. And she so elegantly skates on the confidence side. I mean, you have someone who is talking about going to the Olympics from when she was in grade school, making those, like, you know, when we write these assignments, you know, like you and I probably put, like, we want to be like in the National Football League. We're on camera, not on the National Football League, but she had that vision and she took all the steps to make it here. And I mean, even just talking to her and talking to her parents, this is not a person who likes second place. So I know that she'll be going for gold, like everyone, but there's some people who just, they hate losing more than they like to win, and Tessa definitely fits that bill.
And oftentimes, Will, it seems like, especially in the Midwest, these stellar athletes that we see at the D1 level, the D2 level, they always come from small towns and very rural areas, kind of those humble upbringings.
Right. Yeah, and Orangeville, Illinois is not the bedrock of hockey. I bet most people who are hearing this have to pull up Google Maps or Apple Maps to find out where Orangeville is. It's about a half hour northeast of Stockton, Illinois, for those of us in the Joe Davies County.
Right on the border.
Yeah, right on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin. Yeah, if you trip, you might be in Wisconsin. And so, I mean, they make, you know, about a 30, 40-minute trip from Orangeville to Monroe. We're going to talk a whole lot more about Monroe, Wisconsin, and their role in Tessa Janicki's journey. But, I mean, it's a small town, and as you heard in the story, I mean, I think she uses that as kind of a rallying cry of like, hey, I came from this really small town, not a ton of resources that you would think for a traditional, you know, hockey upbringing, and here she is. She's in Milan, and she's playing in the Olympics.
Absolutely, and her time took her out to the East Coast once, and then a second time at Penn State.
Right.
Speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, and the choice to go to Penn State, I think, talks a lot about Tessa, and it's kind of also falling in line with that upbringing, too. Orangeville, not the bedrock of hockey, and I mean, especially with how close she was to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You know, I know, you know Wisconsin.
Madison is a
exactly.
very rich hockey school.
A rich tradition in hockey. She chooses to go to Penn State, not as well known for hockey, and she goes, and not only is she successful, as you heard in the story, the top point leader for both goals and assists. You get a point if you're not familiar with hockey. Combine those together. She's the point leader in program history. She did that in just 3 years. She's in her senior season now, but she only needed 3 years to get there. And she's also helped transform that Penn State program into one of the premier women's hockey programs in all of college sports. So wherever she goes, she scores, and wherever she goes, her teams have succeeded, and that is also the case in Team USA. I mean, the last 3 years, I mean, she's medaled in all of the world competitions, 2 of those being gold and 1 of those being silver. She's going to hope to add another gold here in the next week or so.
Well, we wish her best of luck here at TV6 and taking the time to speak with you. Not always do we get to speak with an Olympian. I guess that for yourself is kind of an honor in its own.
I told her, I mean, normally we're supposed to be so even-keeled, but I told her, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm geeking out because in my old station in Rockford, I mean, technically they fall on their side of the coverage area. We wanted to make sure that you guys knew about her because it's kind of one of the closer ties that we have to Milan. And not only talking to her, but talking to her parents. I mean, her dad was one of her first coaches, and he already had his oldest son, Cade, was already on the hockey team, and his sister, Tessa, wanted to be on that team too. And you hear in one of the first things that you hear from her parents, like, hey, we don't want to travel for 2 different teams. Like, what started as something of convenience might have actually been the environment that drove her to succeed and, you know, go up in competition, not only playing with guys, but playing with people who sometimes are 2 years older than her. Yeah. And I mean, that's just the bedrock of what started her Olympic journey.
A really neat story indeed. Will, thanks for putting it together for us.
Of course. It was a pleasure, and we're going to see a whole lot more from Tessa. We're going to see even more from her first coaches tomorrow on KWQC Plus, as well as on your news at 6 and 10 o'clock.
A nice story.
Yeah, great story from William Engels. Tomorrow, Team USA will take on Finland. Then the team plays Monday and Tuesday against Switzerland and Canada before bracket play starts on Friday. All the games will be on USA Network, but you'll be able to stream them on Peacock as well. As part of our Olympic update every day, the KWQC First Alert weather team will be here to talk about the conditions skiers and snowboarders will be encountering on the slopes in northern Italy. Meteorologist Diana Rodriguez is going to give us today's forecast. And Diana, have you ever forecasted for Italy before?
No, but it was quite the challenge. I mean, it's still in the northern part of the world, but it's not really much of a difference if we're talking about the weather over there compared to here. matter of fact, I do think we'll be a little bit better here in the Quad Cities and even across the TV6 viewing area than in Milan.
Yeah, it feels delightful outside, really pleasant right now. How are the conditions for those skiers and all of that as we look ahead to what's coming up here in
so as
Milan?
we look ahead, as we get into tomorrow, I mean, we are talking mostly cloudy conditions with temperatures in the 50s for Milan, but for Cortina, they could be dealing with a little bit of some light snow showers in the morning hours with temperatures in the 40s. So still above average for them, but not necessarily what they want to be dealing with when they're trying to compete.
All right, well, thanks so much, Deanna. We appreciate it. Well, when we come back, we're going to preview the opening ceremony that you can view tonight in prime time and some more of the competition we'll see over the next few days. Welcome back. A major part of the Olympics is showing off to the world the host city. Milan is the global center for design, fashion, and finance. The games will be special too because there will be 2 Olympic cauldrons, one in Milan, home to the major indoor events including figure skating and hockey, along with speed skating. The second will be in Cortina, where alpine skiing, luge, curling, and more events will take place. In all, more than 3,500 athletes from 93 countries are competing for 195 medals. And once the medals start coming in, we'll keep you updated on how the U.S. is stacking up in the medal count. Tonight in prime time here on KWQC, you'll get to see the opening ceremony for the games. That's always a remarkable spectacle. When the U.S. enters, speed skater Aaron Jackson and bobsled pilot Frank Del Duca will be carrying the U.S. flag. The full ceremony will last about 3 hours and will feature performances, the Parade of Nations, and of course, the lighting of the Olympic flame. You'll also be able to learn about the host country's culture and history throughout the ceremony. Well, when we come back, we'll preview some of the competition you can expect to see over the next few days. Welcome back. Some kids are celebrating the Olympics today here in the Quad Cities with their own ceremony. Our own Kate Kopatich was at Garfield Elementary School in Davenport. Kate is here now to talk with us more about this fun event.
Yeah, Joey, this was such a fun event to attend, and the kids really got into the spirit of celebrating the Olympics for their own opening ceremony. We're showing you some video of what this looked like right now, and it was so adorable. Each student, they all came in carrying about 20 different flags from different countries. You can see those, Britain, Italy. They had 20 different ones of those, and there were about 300 students at this event, and as you can see, lots of excitement, and it was just a really fun thing to take part in. And coming up tonight at 10, we'll have a little bit more on this story, but yeah, just a good thing to see that our youth is also getting very involved in the Olympics, and they're also as excited for it as we are.
Yeah, what a neat event for all of those kids. I'm sure for many of them, that's something that they'll remember for a very long time to come.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Kate. Throughout the games, there are so many exciting and unique sports to see. Here are a few athletes to keep your eyes on. Michaela Schifrin, aiming for more gold in her 4th Olympics. She'll be competing in the alpine skiing events. Lindsey Vonn will be competing, although she is injured. Vonn recently crashed during her final training run for the games, but she'll be competing in alpine skiing despite rupturing her ACL. She's such a tremendous competitor. She'll give it everything she has. In figure skating, some names to watch for. Ilya Malinin, known as the Quad God for landing the first quadruple axel. And Madison Chock and Evan Bates, the 3-time world champions and 5-time U.S. champions, are looking for gold in ice dance. And finally, Chloe Kim, the 2-time gold medalist in halfpipe, is looking for more hardware in Milan. Here's what you can expect as the competition gets underway tomorrow. Women's cross-country skiing, speed skating, men's luge, figure skating, and the first snowboarding medals of the Olympics will be earned on the men's side. All that coverage and more will be tomorrow on KWQC. We'll be right back with a look at what it's costing to see the games in person. For the next 2 weeks, the eyes of the world will be on Milan, Italy for the Winter Olympics. Some people are paying big money to see some of these sports in action. KWQC's Sharon Derek breaks down the numbers on a trip of a lifetime to see the games in Italy.
We've packed our bags and are ready to take off for our 7-day trip to Italy. The almost 14-hour flight from the Quad Cities International Airport to Milan costs a little under $600. But if you want a little extra leg room on that long flight, an upgrade to first class would set you back almost $5,800. Once we're in Milan, we'll need a place to stay. And the prices vary depending on how close to the Olympic venues you want to be. The 8 Cortina Hotel is less than a quarter mile from the Olympic Ice Stadium, where a number of events will be taking place. But for that prime location, be prepared for some sticker shock. A room in that hotel is $4,517 a night for a grand total of $34,865. Now, if you're willing to stay a little farther out, you can find accommodations that are more affordable. I found a room at the Sport Hotel Europa, which is about 10 miles from the ice stadium, for just a little over $200 a night. It's not the Ritz, but a 7-night stay would come to around $1,650. The whole point of going to Milan, of course, is to watch some of the Olympic action. I decided to check out ticket prices for 4 events: the opening ceremony, curling, women's figure skating, and men's ice hockey. Let's start with the opening ceremony. And the price range here is huge, depending on where you want to sit. The closer to the pageantry, the higher the price tag. The best seats run around $2,360 per person, but the nosebleed seats are just over $300. The first sport we're going to watch is curling, and whether it's men's or women's, a ticket is only around €100, or just over $116. Next up is figure skating, one of the most popular Olympic sports, and the prices are at a premium. The women's long program, where the ladies will skate for the gold, has tickets ranging from $700 to nearly $2,300 a seat. And finally, with what little money we have left, we'll take in the gold medal match in men's hockey. Tickets are almost sold out and are selling from between $1,350 to a whopping $4,100 a ticket. So as we wrap up our stay in Milan and head back to the QCA, even the least expensive options would cost nearly $5,000. And that doesn't include food, drinks, or souvenirs.